Now we can push the button. Now we can push the button. We're in charge of the button pushing around here. Lever pulling, button pushing, total experts. How do you know I'm an expert? Because I'm an American. If you just give me a button, I'll push it. If you give me a lever, I'll pull it. If you give me something else, I'll pull that too. Why not? What are we doing? It's Monday. It is, it's officially Monday, May 12th, 2025. Joel G's here. Says it's cold there. I'm right down under. Yeah, I don't know. Does New Zealand count as the Great Down Under? Is it Down Under in New Zealand also, or is it just Australia? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out from our guy, Joel G. We'll see what he says. Let's start out at the top of the chat and see what the hell is going on. Witchy Cat says, booyah. D-Rock says, yo. Frank Dominguez is in the attic. Live. Doing it. Kiwi Mamo, morning, folks. What's up, Kiwi? How you doing? How you doing? My house is so empty, just back from taking my babies to the vet. They are being neutered today. We had to take one of our dogs to the vet today. We had to take one of our dogs to the vet. We don't really know what happened to her. Little Lola. Little Lola is a little, just small dog. She's like a jelly bean about this size. And I don't know if she got scratched on the butt or bit on the butt or some kind of animal attack, a cat attack maybe. Maybe a raccoon, maybe not a coyote, because a coyote would have eaten her. Something got her. She got a booty scratch and a cut, and it was fine. It seemed like it was doing fine. And then we had to drive down to Oregon this weekend for a family wedding, of which I still have, like, allergies, I think. And while we were gone, we came back to the dog was frantically chewing on her own. She was picking the scab. You know what I mean? How dogs do it. And it was like, oh, look at that spot right there. Somebody's been chewing at their own. Well, it's not like her butt. It's like the top of her rump, I guess, and leg, side of the leg. Apparently, she was nervous because we were gone and was chewing on it, probably because it itches or something. I don't know. But little dog has the cone of shame. Cone of shame, the absolute dog cone of shame, going hard right now. Didn't take a picture, but maybe if you're lucky, I'll take a picture of it and send it somewhere. I don't know where I'll send it. I'll send it to the internet. I'll take the picture and I'll just say post to the internet. Take it away, internet. Put it where you will. And maybe it'll be glorious. Who knows? Who knows where it'll end up? Maybe it ends up on MySpace. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. We forgot to set up our goal today. Forgot to set up our goal, and YouTube's telling me, hey, you better set up a goal. All right, we'll make that button go away by making a goal. How about go? No fun this morning. Caged him up. Well, fun until I closed the door. The boy's looking a little confused. Lily, however, I think should change her name to Houdini. Went to the other end of the house. Kitten's caged. Then Lily came to see what I was doing. Oh, it sounds like you took the cats out. I can't believe how heavy they were. I thought they were under 2 kilograms. Sammy and Jack are 3.5 kilos. And Lily is 2.95 kilos. That's 10 kilos of kittens, otherwise known as 30,000 pounds, I think. And so it sounds like you're taking the cats. We're taking the little dog to the vet, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. See what happens. She got some ointment. She got a cone of shame. And I believe some antibiotics. I'm not 100% sure on everything, but that just is the normal regimen for dogs that get a little scratchy woony and need to not get an infection. So we'll see how it goes. I can't wait for their teenage appetites to settle. They now have hollow legs. Oh. Yeah. Cats grow fast, and they need lots of food. Same with fish. Same with chickens. Our chickens are growing at a ridiculous rate. They are expanding rapidly. We have 2 sets of chicks this season. Some are 4 weeks and some are 5 weeks, or they're 5 and 6 weeks. Something like that. But I always think it's kind of funny when people get chickens for their first time. And they realize that, like, holy shit, these things are grown up. They're like full grown, and they're like 4 or 5 months old. Like, yep. It's one of the reasons we eat so many of them. They grow up super fast. And, I mean, if you got layers, I think that becomes pretty obvious what the chickens are for. Once they get big enough, they start laying eggs. That's why I call them layers. We all get it, right? We're all smart around here. A bunch of fucking smart sons of bitches. And if they aren't layers, they are... what is it? I was about to do the beans porridge song, but that's not about chicken. We need a chicken in the pot song. Let's see if we can't find one. Oh, we can't play a song because I immediately get blasted by the YouTube fucking copyright infringement thing. Who sang the song that has the lyrics "chicken in a pot" in it? Answer. Ricky Lee Jones' Denny's All-Star joint included the lyrics "chicken in a pot." Okay. Welcome to the internet. All right. Right now, I'd like to play that Bo Burnham "Welcome to the Internet" song. What do we got here? Oh, casserole style chicken pot pie tonight. Ooh. Why not? Why not? I say do it. I say go for it. Let's close that. Okay, what the fuck? New message request. Nope. Not reading that. It's probably pornography or something. New message request deleted. All right. Silly me, I thought I was going to get some washing done today. I can still get it wet, but dry may be a little more difficult because apparently it is cold. Is it cold down under? How cold is it down there? It got cold again today. It's been beautiful out, but then it said forget about it. Yesterday afternoon, it was like forget about it. Let's check the weather report. Weather report, New Zealand style. Where's the whole map? Last time we got the whole map. Holy shit, we went to a climate and weather website. Guys, we went to a climate and weather website. We want to see maps. More maps. That's what we want to see. Last time we did this, we wanted to see the maps. See, here's what's weird. Okay, I want to show you this. If Australia is down under, right? Isn't New Zealand like more down under? It's more under. It's más under. It's muchas under. Right? It's muy abajo. Yeah?
Muy a butthole?
Holy fucking Christ, we have a caller. Jesus. Oh, fucking line one. Oh, my God. Oh, fucking, we didn't even know line one was open. What's up, dude? What are you doing?
Surprise!
You snuck in on me. It didn't even make the noise. It normally makes a noise when somebody hops in. So it's good. Anyhow, like I was saying, why the fuck is Australia down under if New Swaziland down here is more... It's more down under her.
One's down under and one's on the bottom.
I'm going to tell you guys, this is where I want to move. I want to move here. I want to go live in New Zealand. I need a host family. I need a host family to take me and my bride and my daughter and probably a couple other relatives.
Right? Well, don't go to Kiwi's house. He'll put you in a cage and have you neutered.
If there was the best place to move to in New Zealand, because we have multiple New Zealanders here. Where's the best place? Where's the best place? Where is it?
Now it's going to
You guys are going to have to tell us. Because right here it says Met Service. I don't know what Met Service is, but it sounds like a... What is Met Service? Is this like a stadium or something? It's the thing that's highlighted. What's Met Service? Is this like a cell phone company or a internet provider or something? Apparently it's the most important thing in New Zealand, because when you zoom way out, look at this. You zoom all the way out, Met Service is highlighted right here. Look at that. It's the most important feature. You got Auckland weather, which is apparently permanently closed, which is crazy. Weather data, New Zealand. Oh, maybe these are like the weather places because that's what I looked up. Weather in New Zealand, and it's not giving us any kind of anything to work with. Where's the best place? Do you move way down? Do you move way down to the end here, right near the tip? Do you move down to the tip?
Kiwi is apparently.
Invercargill? I don't know how to say this right. Should we look that up? We probably should.
Listen to Google brutalize it.
Hold on, here we go. How to pronouns. Invercargill. I wanted to make sure I was typing it in there.
Invercargill.
It's where Kiwi lives.
Invercargill.
Invercargill.
Invercargill? That doesn't sound right. Humans don't say that, do they?
We should call in and tell us.
Invercargill.
Invercargill. That sounds more. Kiwi Momo, that's where I live. Okay, all right, Kiwi, I'm moving in. Move the cats aside, I'm moving in. With some other people, too. It's going to be lots of us. One of my exes married a Kiwi guy.
Yeah.
And then they got divorced. She stayed. Don't blame her. Don't blame her at all. I probably would have stayed too.
Right?
Invercargill.
These are like robots pronouncing the thing.
AI, baby. The wave of the future.
Oh my god, these are all YouTube videos that are just AI pronouncing a thing, and then it's how to pronounce. So it's literally just a robot pronouncing a thing. Hold on. Is this the right? There's a web page I used to go to like how to pronounce things. Fuck, where was that website? Maybe I should have saved it.
That would be silly.
Yeah, but I mean the dying internet is what we're all facing right now, right?
It's true.
It's all just robots talking to robots, posting robot shit.
Invercargill.
Oh, that's the French version. Where's the gringos say it?
Invercargill.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
I'm just reading what Kiwi said. Invercargill. Gotta have the Southland accent.
Cargill.
Yes.
It's the same gill as Gill. Got it.
Helpful.
Where did my map go? You sons of bitches. Spoiled my map game here. Oh, I don't know. Whoever shared the stream and said, "Hey, we're gonna talk shit about Trump and whatnot," we will.
That was me.
Post your shit in the chat, okay? And if you're afraid to post it in the chat, send it to Witchy Cat and she'll forward it to me. But feel free to post it in the chat. It doesn't matter. Post whatever you want. I don't care. Maybe you're a big, huge, giant, mega supporter. Maybe you're a big fan of. Maybe you want a king to tell you what to do for the rest of your life, and just take everything from you. Maybe you're a big fan of that. You could post that too. You can even call in
this morning.
What's that?
Those were not. Said given the conversation this morning in my groups, those were not the people I brought.
Oh, I'm just saying. That's not the only people in the chat, is all I'm saying. So
I know.
And they're gonna watch it later too. So this is recorded.
No.
So I have to go through yes, you could call in if you want. The easiest way to do it is to become a supporter of the channel, and then you get access to our Patreon. If you don't want to call in, we'll post a link to a Discord that you can go to where you will be able to call in and talk to me in real time, and then you will just be sent back into oblivion after the conversation.
Yeah, the rubber band effect to oblivion is painful.
What is this? Featherston? Oh, Featherston. What is this?
Sounds
Featherston?
like-
We're just looking through New Zealand right now because this is right near. Ooh, how do you say this one? Lake Wairarapa. I don't know how to say that right. Martinborough. Is Martinborough cool? That seems like it's kind of out in the sticks. There's probably some MAGA supporters out here. Deep in the New Zealand jungle. Yeah, MAGA supporters are there too. Not very many of them, but there are some.
Is there a tree frog in the greenhouse, Kip? Go get it. Go find it.
A tree frog?
The frogs are really busy this year.
Yeah,
Out
where do
here.
you go? All right, here's the deal. I'm just going to have to go to New Zealand and drive around for a month and figure out where I want to go. That's probably going to be the way to
darn.
go. Because you guys haven't even told me where I'm supposed to move to. So you're not even helping. You guys are actual Kiwis and you can't even say like where to move to? What the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? Bruv. Where did my chat go? That's really the question. Chat's back. All right. I'm here. Sorry, I'm late. I had a dentist appointment. Dentist appointments are good. As a matter of fact, I got a call from the dentist yesterday, and they were like, "We need you in here. We want to touch your teeth. We want to touch the inside of your mouth real bad." They're like, "We miss you. Please come over here." So I'm gonna go, and it's gonna get weird. I guarantee it.
It's already weird, but okay.
Joel's up top, and I'm down on the bottom. Wet and mild here. Went to a vet in a t-shirt, so not all that cold. Yeah, we're up top. I'm up. We're not completely up top, but we're getting close up here in the Pacific Northwest. We're getting close to the up top area. South Island is cheaper than living north, but more job opportunities in the north. Well, that's probably true. It's more cosmopolitan up north, right? Because there's more beaches and sunny weather. But I just want to help fix people's houses and shit. That's all I want to do. Is that work exists down south? I'd wager it because I was looking at the New Zealand demographic shift. Oh my God! You got to put an S on the end, not a fucking E. There we go. Where was it? New Zealand's population is diverse. A majority of European descent, a significant indigenous Maori population, and growing Asian and Pacific Islander communities. Country's population is also becoming more ethnically diverse, with a projected quarter of the population being Asian by 2040. Fuck this sentence, Jesus. Speaking of Jesus, I had to hear about that this weekend because of the fucking wedding. Oh, we lost Witchy Cat.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. I said
I
fucking
said,
wedding.
oh, no.
You're supposed to make a noise or something.
I did. I said, "Oh no."
Oh, you did? I didn't hear
You
it.
just did not hear me.
Here it is. Demographics of New Zealand. I found it. Yeah, right here. They have this thing happening right here. It's called, what is it called? They have names for all of these shapes.
See these shapes of the juice.
They have names for all of these shapes. So this is the problem right here. Where it goes in down here at the bottom. And this fat part moves upward. You need to import some people in this range here. The 25 and below. So that this can be a little bit wider. Because potentially what you would want out of your, realistically, with the consumer-driven societies that we've built for ourselves, which is fucking bizarre to me still, but that's what it is, with the consumer-based economies, essentially what you want is it to be real skinny here at the top and then go out like this, and then go sort of straight down, but then also go out. Like if it was perfect capitalism, it would go like this, out, down, straight down like that. So it would just be a pyramid, but with some weirder angles added in, essentially. Think not a pyramid, but a pentagon, a pentagonal shape, right? So you want a doot, and then a doot that goes down here. I need something to fucking draw on. Oh, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. But this skinnier part at the bottom here is what makes all economists freak out. Because the big downside is when you have this skinny bottom area here, you don't have the amount of consumers to support this part at the top. Because more often than not, people will think, oh, you retire. That's when your productivity goes away. And that's factually untrue, right? Because part of productivity when you live in capitalism, when you live in just raw, unbridled fucking drop a bomb on your enemies capitalism like we do, your productivity actually stops down here between 45 and 50, right? Because down here at 25, you're just fucking boning, right? You're just fucking everything that moves. Maybe you're in a monogamous relationship and you just fuck that person all the time. And then you drop out some boop boops down here at the bottom. A little boop boop that adds to the bottom down here. Then this point moves up here and this point moves up here. So during this time, typically 25 to 45, you're spending all of your money, all of your resources, all of your time, all of your energy on these little shits that you pooped out that are down here at the bottom until they get up to this range here. And then they start consuming like crazy. And what typically ends up happening, these people that are 45, 50 in this range, they stop doing crazy capitalism moves because they're going to start grabbing onto all of the resources and holding on to it as much as humanly possible because they're afraid of hitting this number right here, 65, 70. Holy shit, it got bigger. Look at that. I clicked on it and it got super big. That's fucking amazing. I love it. Oh, and it gets even bigger. Oh my God, it's big as Google Earth. Control minus. Oh, now it's just shrinking over that direction. Oh God, how do we disengage? Oh, actually, if we just go back, it fixes it. Okay. So these people in here, the 45 to 50, they start saving all their money because they're afraid of this number right here, the 65, 70, because they're like, oh no, that's all I'm ever going to make. And I got to stop working, which you should. It's called retirement. You guys ever heard of it? You guys heard of retirement? Anyhow, these people start hoarding their money and stop making risky moves. Like, you're not about to invest in, you're not about to invest in a company that builds autonomous robots that drive to people's houses autonomously to take their dogs for a walk while they're at work. You know what I'm saying? You're not investing in that business at this age. You're investing in that business down here, right? You're like 28 years old. You've got 2 kids. You're sleep deprived. You work at a insanely ridiculous job where you have to fill out TPS reports all the time and put a cover sheet on them. And you got a boss named Lumberg who wants you to come in on the weekends. You invest in that weird autonomous dog walking business down here, probably lose all that money because it's a stupid idea. It always is. And then by the time you're up here, you're resigned to the fact that you're going to just make this 10, 15-year investment so that you could spend the money and then die. And you're not going to buy a house. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to just go buy another house randomly. Although in the United States, what Americans do now is they buy a house when they're 70 because they have all this equity in their house. They cash out the equity in their house, and then they go buy a house that is typically a starter house because it's 28 minutes from the city, out in the outreach is out there, which is normally the house that's supposed to be for the starter families that are down here, thusly driving up the prices of all of the homes everywhere. That's a huge contributor to why houses are so expensive, and nobody ever wants to blame it on the individual, but it is the fucking boomers just raw dogging these people down here. They're just fucking them over without protection. You know what I'm saying? It's these old boomers that have fucking syphilis. These syphilis-infected boomers are just raw dogging these people down here financially with their financial syphilis, as it were. But
financial syphilis.
The whole reason I went under this tirade was, as I was saying, that New Zealand is lacking this demographic down here. And if you notice, they have extra boys here in the young age, and they have less girls over on this side. So they obviously want me to move there with my daughter to help fill in this space down here, right?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh, here we go. Here's the map. Population decrease in Gisborne. Is that Gisborne? Is that what that says? Oh, the names are wild. Oh, here you go. Here's a moving chart. Here you go. Moving chart. See this? Thick bottom, skinny top. Thick bottom. Oh, skinnier bottom. Oh, there we go. We had a boom. It's going good. This is going good. It's going good. Okay, we're doing all right. Oh, I guess it's just fine then. The moving chart just looks fine by the end.
Oh, yeah. Thick bottoms are good.
You know, they are. Why not?
Hello, Cool J would like you to know that.
Hello, Cool J likes thick bottoms. He would like you to know about it.
You will not prevaricate.
I mean, the reality is that New Zealand wouldn't let us. They probably wouldn't let us come in there. Immigration.
Why not?
Here we go. Why not? Why wouldn't they let us immigrate? Because they have stipulations on immigration. Let's see. And the thing is that, Zealand, there we go. The thing is, it's easier for them to enforce it because they're an island in the middle of a fucking ocean. You know what I mean?
True.
Here's
You're not
here's how to get your visa. Here's how to get your visa to move to New Zealand. Skilled migrant category. This is a points-based system where you score points based on factors like age, qualifications, work experience, English language proficiency. If you score high enough, you can be invited to apply for a skilled migrant category resident visa. Accredited employer work visa, the AEWV. If you have a job offer from an employer accredited by Immigration New Zealand, you may be eligible for this visa, which can lead to residency. Straight to residence visa. This visa is available for certain occupations listed on the green list, which are in high demand in New Zealand. Let's take a look what those are. Green list roles. Here we go. Acoustic engineer. Can't do that. Addiction practitioner. I mean, I technically could do that, but I don't have
MSW or equivalent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a degree, so that's a problem. Aeronautical aerospace engineer. That's not me. Aeronautical aviation engineer. Nope. Aeronautical avionics. Aircraft maintenance. Aircraft maintenance engineer. Alcohol and drug clinician. Not me. Ambulance paramedic. I could probably do that, but I don't have it. So problem. And probably the American one probably wouldn't transfer, I would think. It's possible, though. assistant dairy farm manager.
There you go.
So as you go down these lists, like building project manager, bulldozer operator, cardiologist. So they have a long list here, obviously, of stuff. Now, one of the biggest problems is that you're going to have to find, you're going to have to make sure that you have like the accreditation in order to do it. So you're going to need some kind of diploma, some kind of degree,
certification,
some kind of
whatever,
schooling that you've literally done this. And one of the big problems is that like a lot of it isn't necessarily going to work as a straight transfer from the United States, because you would need your American previous employers to like work with these people, right, in order to verify your experience and stuff. And you really can't count on American previous employers, right, to do that. You know what I mean? And they obviously will most likely not have an already functioning relationship with any of the New Zealand powers that be, I guess. You know what I mean? Like they probably aren't working with any of the New Zealand companies. Like if you worked, but here's like an example that might work is like, let's say you worked at Amazon and you were like some kind of guy at Amazon or whatever, and then there was a position available for Amazon New Zealand, and you applied for it and you got it. Amazon would facilitate that swap across. Like that's how my Welsh buddy got his residency in the U.S. because he was a very valuable employee at Microsoft, and Microsoft just facilitated that the whole time.
Right.
It sort of works the same way. And then I know that there is a I don't know where I'll be able to find it, but I know that at one point there was a if you have X amount of money,
Yes.
you could
The golden ticket visa or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that like the whole Trump admin is just so ridiculously retarded to come out with, we got a golden ticket scenario here where you just give us $5 million or whatever, which by the way, no one is going to do that. You know, why would you give somebody $5 million for something that you would already just do without giving someone $5 million? Like if you have $1 billion, you can get a visa, you could come here, you could start a business. If you start a business, you already get granted residency here in the U.S. Why would you spend $5 million that you wouldn't need to? Which is why, like, fundamentally, it's another reason, like, why I bring up that, like, the Trump administration is literally just trying to shit in the pool, right? They're essentially poisoning the water for anybody to have any kind of conversation about what they're actually doing, because of the level of stupid shit that they're doing constantly 24 hours a day, so that we end up talking about something like the golden ticket, right?
Right.
As opposed to the fact that like they're pushing bills right now to like get rid of furries from elementary schools.
Yes, in Texas, yes.
The fact that Kash Patel is not going to, as the new head of the FBI, first off, he's been in Congress the last week. They've been questioning him on stuff because he never presented. I don't know if you saw this, but he hasn't presented the budget for the FBI.
Right.
Which is fundamentally like one of the most important parts of being the head of the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done it. He's broken the law by not putting it in. He has no timeline. And by the way, the reason I can say this is because he's testified in front of fucking court, or not in front of court, in front of Congress. Pardon me? What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I said that he has no timeline.
Yeah, that he's testified to this in front of Congress, that he has no timeline. He doesn't know what's going on. He is 100% the wrong person for the job. He's not qualified for the job. They've started pushing all these like anti-DEI initiatives, which is fundamentally flawed because you're already you're talking about diversity, right? It's like, what's the opposite of diversity? Like the whites?
Meritocracy? Oh, I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you have
Right.
diversity, what's the opposite of it? A fucking clan meeting, right?
Right.
If you have equity, right? What's the difference of equity? Inequity? Okay, so
Inequity.
someone gets all of it and everyone else gets nothing. Okay. And inclusion, right? Like, what's the opposite of inclusion? Like excluding, right? So the idea, I guess, to get rid of DEI is to implement those three things, right? Like the opposite of it. To make a clan meeting where nobody's equal to anybody except for the people in the clan meeting, and the only people that get anything are the people in the clan meeting, right?
Right.
And I
By the way, what clan meeting would Kash Patel of all people be welcome at?
well, I mean, you've seen what is it? What is it? Biggs, the Black Klansman.
No, I haven't seen that. Okay. I don't know why I'm surprised.
It's
but...
no, it's Dave Chappelle.
Oh, okay.
There's a Black Klansman's a good movie, but there's Clayton Bigsby. That was his name.
Okay.
So he played a character called Clayton Bigsby, who was a blind Klan member. He was blind, okay? And
Okay.
he was a Klan member. Like he was a Ku Klux Klan like Grand Dragon or whatever, wizard.
Right.
And he was black. That was the joke. So he was always wearing his Klan outfit. And the final punchline is that he divorces his wife because she was white. And if you can understand why, she was a black lover, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
That's why he divorced her at the end. He left her because she was having sex with a black guy.
That's funny.
Who was him? Yeah, and so I think he's realistically a Clayton Bigsby. I think that's really what it is, right? I think that's what's going on there.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, like,
Well, Clarence Thomas was the other one because
like how blatantly racist have they been to the country of over 1 billion people, India, right? Regularly. And the first vice lady, whatever you call her.
Oh, the
vice president's wife. Yeah,
yeah.
There's a name for that. Yeah.
Oh, the second lady, yes.
The second lady, there it is Indian, right?
Right.
And they're literally like, we need to get these Indians out of here. And they're like, oh,
Right.
but not this one, because that's JD's wife. But maybe, you know.
Right. Have you considered replacing her?
Right.
We have this lovely AI-driven model for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we have a new AI model. It's actually just a bot. Did you see that this week? Mark Zuckerberg was saying that their plan is to create AI friends for people.
Yeah, because that's working out so well.
They're calling them AI companions, right? The claim is that people on average only have 3 friends these days. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Meta Friends Bot Program. I don't know. Let's see if we can find this. There we go. Oh, here it is. The average American has, I think, it's fewer than 3 friends, Zuckerberg said during a podcast interview on Monday, and the average person has demand for meaningfully more, which I don't even know what the fuck that last bit of the sentence is supposed to mean.
This coming from Zuckerberg, of all people, notorious for not having any friends.
Yeah,
but
notoriously
all right.
has no friends. Right. In a media blitz that included several podcast appearances this week, timed for Meta's LlamaCon, Zuckerberg mapped out an AI future built on a foundation of augmented reality glasses and wristband controllers. With those devices plugged into Meta's AI models, he predicted the emergence within 4 or 5 years of a new platform for human interaction with bots. It would, he said, be the next logical step on the internet's evolution from text to audio and video. Today, most of the time spent on Facebook and Instagram is on video, but do you think in 5 years we're just going to be sitting in our feed and consuming media that's just video? Zuckerberg asked podcaster Dwarkesh Patel.
No.
No, he answered himself. It's going to be interactive. You'll be scrolling through your feed, and there will be content that maybe looks like a reel to start, but you can talk to it and interact with it, and it talks back or it changes what it's doing. Or you can jump into it like a game and interact with it. That's going to be AI. Which, by the way, I don't understand how we're supposed to make these... Like... I don't understand how we're supposed to make these jumps into technology that doesn't exist in, like, let's say you have 5 big PCs running off of its own server connected together. That doesn't do that now. But
Right.
that's going to happen in a wristwatch in 4 years' time.
Right.
The fuck? What the fuck are these people on? That, like, Mark Zuckerberg goes to sell this. Elon Musk goes to sell that we're going to be on Mars in 5 years. What did he say, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Where they just go and they just say this outlandish fucking insane nonsense like this. And the reality of what it is behind this is... You go out, you do a press tour, you say this insane shit, and then a bunch of people start talking about the thing that you're going to do. Random investments start to come in, and those random investments, you put those into the market to exploit the market, right? And this is, by the way, this is the exact same thing that our current president is doing. If you fundamentally don't understand what digital currency is, what the fucking Trump coin is, and the fact that the Trump coin is a direct way to bribe the United States president, I wish you would go learn some more if you don't understand that's how this works.
Yep.
If it's confusing to you that in the first 3 months that the U.S. president and his family holdings have gained $3 billion in the last 3 months of being a president. If it's confusing to you that the sheik of Qatar or whatever the fuck, the dictator of Qatar, is gifting an airliner, a luxury airliner to our president, and they're admitting it. If those things are all confusing to you, I really wish you would go crack open a book and start doing some fucking reading, or at least go find somebody with a level of expertise that can
Explain shit to you.
guide you around the rest of your life.
Or that.
You know, it's like when you watch those old videos of the blind person in like the 50s and they like have a caretaker that's like walking them around, right?
Right.
Like those people, the MAGA people are definitely going to need that, because for the last 10 years, the MAGA people have been shrieking, crying, shitting their pants, pissing their diapers, pissing their friends' diapers, frothing at the mouth, screeching and crying about the fact that Like, here's a good example. Hillary Clinton was getting paid for her speaking events, right?
Oh my God, not that.
Which, by the way, all famous people get paid for their speaking events. Okay?
Yeah, I was going to say,
How much
pretty
do you
much
think?
what every president does after they retire.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. How many Robert Downey Jr.'s are there in the planet?
Just the one.
Just the one. How many Hillary Clintons are there on the planet?
Well, it depends on who you ask, but in reality, just the one.
Right. It doesn't depend on who you ask. There is one. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. How much does it cost to get Iron Man to come be at your convention? Whatever your convention is. It does not matter if you're the Sieg Heil fucking Republican Party MAGA freaks and you want Iron Man to come to your convention, or if you're the comic book convention. How much do you think it costs to have Iron Man come to your convention?
I'm going to guess at a minimum $20K.
Oh,
And
no.
that's just for an afternoon.
No, you are so wrong.
Way low.
You are fucking
Okay.
beyond. That's not even enough to get him from the airport to the fucking the casino, wherever it's at, the convention center.
All right, add a zero. 200K.
No,
All right. Then I don't know.
the last reported fee that he received for going to be Iron Man at a convention, he had the last request that he had was $40 million.
Okay, that seems a tad excessive, but okay. You can pull it. Do it.
So the reason why is because he didn't want to do it anymore.
Right. Okay.
But
There you
Robert Downey Jr.'s salary for his role as Doctor Doom, how much do you think it is?
Oh, fuck if I know. 20 million.
Nope.
Okay. I just need to stop guessing financials, apparently. How much?
95 million.
95 million? Okay. Wow.
So the thing is, like, you have to understand that, like, Robert Downey Jr., he's like the most highly sought after, right? To go do this thing, right? And the reason that he doesn't want to go do those conventions is the reason that he asks for so much money is because in his first Marvel contract, he was required to do conventions.
Right.
So when Iron Man came out, the first one, it wasn't as big a deal, right? Iron Man was a throwaway movie, right?
Right.
Iron Man was a completely throwaway movie for Marvel to do. They didn't think it was going to be. They didn't even think it was going to make money. They thought it was going to lose money. And it turned out, obviously, it was a huge hit. They made shitloads of money. But one of the things about his original contract, because you got to remember, before Robert Downey Jr. did Iron Man, he was basically like banned from Hollywood, right?
Yeah, he was blacklisted for his addiction issues.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't even know if it's his addiction issues. It was his crime issues. He was going to jail all the time, right?
Right.
I mean, there's like I'm saying that there's plenty of junkies working in Hollywood.
Right,
they just don't get arrested, right? It's the big difference.
Right.
He kept getting arrested and getting into fights with cops and shit. Like, so it was one of those things where it was like, dude, you're getting arrested and you're not even getting arrested like kindly, right?
Right.
Like Winona Ryder was arrested for shoplifting. You remember that back in the day?
I do.
Now, if she started kicking and punching and like fighting the cops and being like, "You can't fucking arrest me," and all this crazy shit, right?
She
Like,
broke down and cried, as I recall.
it would be a bit of a different story, right? But anyhow,
Right.
so in his original contract, basically he just agreed, like, "Oh yeah, I'll do all this stuff," right? Like, you guys need me to do all this stuff. I don't like doing the promotional stuff, but I'll do it. You know, one of the things that like almost all actors and actresses, like complain about is having to do the interviews, promotional tour stuff. They hate it. They hate doing it. And so, but because he was in such a bad spot that he was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll do all that stuff. So now he doesn't do that stuff, and he demands like a giant amount of money so that it's sort of cost prohibitive to have him come and do it. Now, the reason that he's able to do that is because he's the only Iron Man, right? Like, if you want Iron Man to be at your convention or whatever, he's the only one.
Right.
Arguably,
not
before
like
Adam
Batman
West
practice.
died, I'm just saying,
There
like,
you go.
arguably before Adam West died, you could get Batman for pretty cheap. You know, also Michael Keaton was Batman. I mean, nowadays you could get 2 dead Batmen if you wanted to, if you could figure out how to do that. You could exhume 2 corpses of Batman.
Yep. Good old Val
and whatnot. There's lots of Batman. There's, as a matter of fact, there's lots of Spider-Man. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you exclude any of the previous Spider-Man stuff, you exclude Spider-Man voiceover from all the cartoons, even if you exclude that, there's still 3 Spider-Men who are quite young, even, you know, that like there's probably at least a 40-year life on those Spider-Men.
Right. The same thing for Bonds.
There is only one Mr. Freeze, though.
Yeah. Sam's got it.
And he's getting up there. And
yeah.
Oh, I think there's 2 Penguin now, isn't there?
Yes.
There's a new Penguin.
They just added. Yep.
Danny DeVito will always be my Penguin.
The best Penguin.
The best Penguin. I'm just saying. And so the reason for bringing all that up and talking about any of that is that the MAGA people have been crying and just shitting their pants over and over again because Hillary Clinton was getting paid $50,000 to go do speaking events for whatever. And the answer that they always say is Goldman Sachs, right? Because they want to say like, oh, it's this really high-end financial companies or whatever, right? Like, never mind Berkshire Hathaway, never mind BlackRock, never mind JP Morgan, like, never mind the list of fucking insane financial corporations that are only based in money, right? These are corporations that are only exist in money. That's it. That's all that these financial institutions, that's all they exist in. They don't produce anything except produce money from money by extracting from us fucking poor people, right? And so never mind the giant list.
Right.
But the point is that they'll shriek and cry about Hillary Clinton being paid $250,000 to go do a thing, which, by the way, if you want Scarlett Johansson to come to your convention and do a speaking engagement, it's probably going to cost more than $250,000. If you want Tom Cruise to come do a speaking engagement and you aren't a Scientologist, it's going to probably cost you more than $250,000. If you need the King of Brunei to come to your fucking speaking engagement thing, it's probably going to cost you more than $250,000. My point is, you want Logan Paul to come to your thing, it's going to cost you more than $250,000. The list is super long of rich and famous people that are willing to come to your thing if you give them a pile of cash and talk about some kind of thing, right?
Right.
These people have been shrieking and crying and losing their minds about the Biden crime family and the Clinton crime family, right? For at least 30 years now. At least 30 years now. You know?
Pizzagate.
They're crying into their fucking $3 Taco Bell fucking diarrhea-inducing quesadilla thing, whatever the fuck it is. Sitting in their pickup truck in a parking lot wearing fucking reflective shades at 11 o'clock at night.
And MAGA hats.
And just crying into their fucking weird bean burrito thing in the middle of the night about how the Biden crime family was taking money because of the big guy, right? Did you see the email where it said just some for the big guy? Now, is it a shame that Hunter Biden was put on a board somewhere? Like Burisma in Ukraine? Or the other board positions that he had before that, by the way? Hold on. I got to look this up. I don't remember exactly where they are.
Okay.
I think one of them is the... one of them was a train company, I think. Oh my God, his work history is like so convoluted. Da, 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 da. Yeah, in 2014, Biden joined the board of Burisma Holdings, but that's 2014. Let's see. Before that, he was in the BHR Partners, which is a Chinese investment venture capital group. Before that, he was in, what was this one? RMB.
So many acronyms all the time.
They all have acronyms, so it's just impossible to like. The idea is that you muddy the water so much that everyone's just so confused by these fucking 3-letter acronyms that they'll just they'll just have an aneurysm and die because they're like trying to remember all these 3-letter bullshits. Where's his work history? Tax indictment charges. Oh, that's right. He was in the Navy. Totally forgot about that.
In the Navy. Sorry.
Where did it go? It's hard to find this guy's work history, probably because he's the son of,
President,
vice president.
Tired of being,
But he was on. I remember I had found it before, but he was on other boards, like other than just the China one and the and Burisma. Right. He was on a different board before that, and I think it was like a train company or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, here's the Committee of Oversight. Let's see. China, Oh, that's right. I forgot that there's a whole oversight us.gov of the, because they did a whole investigation. Sorry, I forgot that our entire Congress put together a fucking investigation of them. So you can actually go look this up. It's the Biden influence peddling timeline at oversight.house.gov. So in 2013, Hunter Biden, business associate, and Chinese investors agreed to create Bohai Harvest RST Equity Investment Fund Management Company. Fuck. An investment fund controlled by the Bank of China to focus on mergers and acquisitions and investment in and reforms of state-owned enterprise. Um, Russian oligarch Yelena Baturina, the wealthiest woman in Russia and then married to the former mayor of Moscow, wired Rosemont Seneca Thornton Bank an account $3.5 million. Rosemont Seneca Thornton's beneficiary was Rosemont Seneca Partners, of which the Hunter Biden was the chairman. Yeah, so he was also Rosemont Seneca Partners. But like the problem is that like all of these clowns are on all these boards because the people on boards don't do any work. You got to fundamentally understand that like I'm doing more work right now live streaming on YouTube than the people on boards do.
Right.
You got to understand that. It's something that I really don't think that the average American understands, right? And I will always hearken back to the bullshit interview with Jeffrey Bezos.
Dear Bezos.
There was a part where yeah, here it is, 2018. Jeff Bezos only expects himself to make 3 good decisions daily.
Just the 3.
I'll show you guys what
I
I'm
remember
reading
you
here.
saying this.
In case I read something wrong. What's that?
I said I remember you saying this.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos only expects himself to make 3 good decisions a day. In a global culture of overwork, the world's richest man has a surprisingly chill daily routine. During an extensive interview in the Economic Club of Washington, D.C., on Thursday, September 13th, Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos said he prioritizes getting 8 hours of sleep each night, then builds puttering time into his mornings for things like enjoying his coffee, reading the newspaper, and having breakfast with his kids. Bezos also likes to schedule his first meeting for 10 a.m.
All right.
and
nice.
aims to have all of his tough thinking done by lunchtime. I don't know when you motherfuckers think lunchtime is, but that's fucking
2
noon.
whole hours.
That's noon, motherfucker. In the theory of cutting a few hours of sleep or kicking off the day's first meeting at 8 a.m. can make Bezos more productive, some leaders, including Donald Trump and Marissa Mayer, reportedly sleep for only 4 hours a night. Bezos concedes that being up and at 'em earlier might help him power through more decisions, but questions whether that's the right approach. As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions, he told Economic Club President David Rubenstein. Being tired and grouchy doesn't lay the groundwork for that. If I make like 3 good decisions a day, that's enough. And they should be as high quality as I can make them. Warren Buffett says he's good if he only makes 3 good decisions a year. Bezos' thinking, backed up by 2 decades of research on decision making. Bezos' thinking is backed up by 2 decades of research on decision making. Our ability to decide falters over the course of the day, a phenomenon scientists call decision fatigue. One 2011 study found that decision fatigue makes judges less likely to grant parole later in the day. Humans make hundreds of tiny decisions every day: what to wear, eat, read, say, etc., which is why people like Mark Zuckerberg and Barack Obama eliminate one choice by wearing the same outfit every day. If every decision eats into your brain power, making fewer of them is a smarter move. I mean, obviously, I'm making too many decisions. My fucking brain power is dying
Right.
trying to
You
read.
can't even talk today.
Trying to read this purple fucking text. Maybe I should turn it blue. Oh, what the fuck? Where did we go? Oh, we looked up extraneous factors in judicial decisions. Whoops.
Whoops.
If every decision eats into your brain power, making fewer of them is a smart move, especially when the ones you make or the ones you do make impact a $1 trillion company. Fuck, it took me a minute to get through that fucking paragraph, but fundamentally, like, he has been interviewed tons and tons of times about this concept because people are like, you know that you're not supposed to say this out loud. You know that you're not supposed to go talking about how you really only work 2 hours a day at best. Like, you don't want to go out there and tell people this. That's why people are like, what the fuck? Why does he keep telling people this shit? Because this is, that right there is pulling, it's pulling the mask off of your eyes, right? That where there's this idea that these CEOs and the board members and all these people are frantically and diligently working, oh, they're at the office 20 hours a day. They're sleeping on the factory floor. They're doing all of these things. Like, bullshit they are. Bull fucking shit that they are. And you want to know, like, a prime example of it? Elon Musk. Elon Musk is tweeting on average 160 times a day.
Right.
That's 10 tweets per hour if he's awake for 16 hours. All day. Right? How many is that?
Yep.
That's a tweet every 6 minutes.
That's crazy.
If you ever worked with somebody who had their phone out like this and was tweeting once every 6 minutes, would you have any expectation that they were doing any work at the place where you worked at?
Or anywhere else? No.
I'm just saying, like, if you had a coworker that was doing that.
Nope, wouldn't expect them to be doing anything.
Yeah, other than tweeting. And I literally had some dipshit a while ago bring up to me that, well, he owns Twitter. Right.
Right.
So he's supposed to be tweeting because he owns Twitter. And so my quick question is like, do you think the guy from Pfizer is doing all the opiates every day? do you think the owner, the CEO of Pfizer is constantly taking Oxycontin every day? Right. All the time? Because he has to take all the Oxycontin because he owns that company. Right?
Right.
But also at the same time, is Elon Musk flying on any of the fucking shuttles that they're sending up with these bullshit satellites all over the place?
No.
No, but he owns SpaceX. Right? Yeah. I
wish we could get him to go fly somewhere. Never mind. I didn't.
This shit makes no sense. Like, and the reality is that when the shit doesn't make any sense and you actually kind of boil it down to like, well, how does this make any sense? And you start to like peel the curtain back a little bit and you start to realize that, like, I'm not saying Jeff Bezos is dumb. I'm saying Elon Musk is dumb because he's a racist piece of shit. I'm not saying that, what's his name? Berkshire Hathaway guy?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. I'm not saying Warren Buffett is dumb, but Jeff Bezos is pushing it, saying that he hopes that he makes 3 quality decisions a day, right? Warren Buffett's saying he makes 3 quality decisions a year. And Elon Musk is fucking tweeting nonstop every day about inferior races or whatever the fuck he's doing. Every time I see this shit, it is mind-boggling to me how anybody admires that person at this point, other than, clan members and shit like that. I gotta yell at my dog.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what are you doing out here? What are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. Or recab. Every time I see that, I think it's Rebecca, because that's just how I think. Because you're cool. Drew, are you still here? Oh, I'm talking to the people in chat while you do whatever you're doing. Woohoo.
This dog.
Is it the Lola dog?
This little dingo. If a dingo steals your baby, it might be this one.
It'd have to be a very small baby.
Stop yelling at the sky like a maniac.
There's things to be said.
That dog was going buck wild outside. I don't know if there's like a kid. Maybe there was an old-timey kid pushing a hoop down the street. You know what I'm talking about?
A stick.
Because the kids, they don't need dolls. The kids don't need dolls anymore, all right, guys? The kids just need a hoop and a stick, and they're going to push it down the street.
Right. Oh, look at that dog.
But supposedly we're supposed to have augmented glasses. We're going to have a computer in our glasses. We're going to have an extra computer on our wrist. We're going to have, like, extra phones. They're going to somehow be produced in the United States. Right. I don't understand it.
At one of these cities that are giant data centers and factories.
Right. They're somehow going to be able to pull that off, which is not going to happen because all of the investment is currently happening overseas. Because fundamentally, one of the biggest problems that we have right now is there's been, 90... The last count I saw was last week. There was 96 different tariffs implemented. The raising, the lowering, the reducing, the raising, the lowering, reducing.
Yeah.
It was like, that was last week. So now it's probably well into the centennial numbers, right?
Right.
And one of the biggest issues is that investors don't want to invest in the United States right now because of how uncertain the future is. Right? Even in the standpoint of, let's say that Trump is somehow president for the next 4 years. Let's say he leaves the tariffs in place for the next 4 years. Because none of this has been legislated through Congress, which, by the way, Congress is supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's not going to apparently happen.
What Donald Trump did was he raised a state of emergency. And he said that we're in a state of emergency, so he gets to do these things, which a state of emergency is currently being reviewed by Congress, and whether or not any of these fucking shitheads in Congress are going to vote yes or no on it. Eventually, something is going to come to a head here, right? We'll see how it goes. But the real reason that people don't want to invest in the United States is, let's say there's a 145% tariff on everything coming from Asia or whatever you want it. Let's say that's the case. Because Congress didn't put it in, the uncertainty of this administration, but also the uncertainty of the next administration that's coming in. Because you're probably going to end up with AOC as president in 3.5 years. 3 3/4 years, whatever. Because at this point, the pendulum swing of politics in the United States, the pendulum has swung so far out into fucking la la land, it's going to swing back. And we're going to end up in the other la la land. We're going to end up in the la la land of AOC as president. And I will 100% die on this hill. The AOC, if she becomes the president, 100% the hottest president that's ever existed. 100%. I don't know what to tell you. I disagree with AOC on certain things. She seems very intelligent, very personable. Whatever her attractiveness is right up my alley. 100%. If I have a type, it's pretty much it right there.
That's funny.
Which is funny because she does look a lot like Vicky. So, if there was a type,
There you
it's
go.
that. But yeah, you know, if you're doing a live stream, you got to add some comedy and something that will completely outrage any MAGA freak out there in the world. Because if they, the funny thing is that if they go like, she's not attractive at all, it's like you're obviously a fucking liar.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing.
Right.
Like when I got into an argument with a guy who was saying that that Katy Perry wasn't attractive, and this was like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, when
Okay.
you know, like the only thing that you knew is that she was a singer and she was attractive. That was it. That's the only thing you knew about her, right? There wasn't 20 years of like her weirdness, where she's an astronaut now and has saved all women from I don't know what, but she saved all women in the world probably because she's an astronaut now. So by the way, women, you've been saved by Katy Perry. So just chill. Don't worry about anything ever again. But I got in a big argument with a guy who was saying that like, oh my God, Katy Perry's butt ugly. And I was like, okay, fundamentally, you're just wrong. Okay. Like maybe you don't like her. Maybe you don't like her music. Maybe you don't like pop singers. Okay. I get it. I get the disdain for the music industry, the pop music. I get it. I get all that stuff. The mass commercialization of terrible pop music to extract money from young people. Yes, I hate all of that stuff. I get it. But for you to say that like Katy Perry is butt ugly is just factually untrue. You know, like it's like saying Marilyn Monroe, she's like butt ugly. Oh my God. You know, you're like, you're just being a contrarian. That's the only thing that you're successfully doing is that like, water's not wet.
The sky isn't blue.
The sky's not blue. Fuck, those are contrails, those aren't clouds. That's a chemical spray.
We're all gonna die.
Well, I don't know. I mean, every time I talk to like the chemical spray people, like where they think that we're altering the weather patterns with contrails, right?
Yes, yes.
Is that
yes.
like
everybody's favorite folks?
Have you ever fucking noticed fog before? Has it ever been foggy before? And then it was not foggy?
Right.
At some point, right? Like there's fog and then there's not fog. So you get that this is a thing that happens in the atmosphere that we're in?
Nope. Not true. It's all a lie. And the earth is flat.
Yeah, the earth is flat. You're going to fall off, which I've always brought up the point that like it's funny how the flat earthers like now that Game of Thrones came out on HBO, they started talking about an ice wall.
Oh, yes.
There was no ice wall.
From falling off.
No ice wall mythos in the flat earth society freaks. There was no ice wall until Game of Thrones came out on HBO, which is even funnier than anything because like it's more proof of point that like the people that believe in flat earth weren't even like reading books for fun.
Right.
Like there wasn't even a fan of the books, right? Like in the flat earth society.
Right.
Ahead of time. Like it's when it literally like came out and they like watched the shows, then all of a sudden ice walls started showing up and all of their models, right? Oh fuck, a big wall of ice?
No way.
Created by the government to keep people from falling off the edge? Oh fuck, bro.
Right.
Yeah, bro. It's to keep the zombies out. They're not zombies.
That's why it used to say, "Here there be dragons," because there were.
Yeah. Here there be dragons. Yeah. Yeah, fuck. God damn it. God damn it, man. I'm telling you.
And the turtle that it's all balanced on. Anyway.
Well, it's like when we looked up the That one day when we had the that giant squid got caught in the troll line. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then people were like, "Oh my God, there's a giant squid that's 100 feet long," right? And you
Right.
got to think that like we've been extracting so much of the biodiversity from the ocean for so long, right? That there probably was a time that there were more giant squid and or more giant squid washing ashore, right? Or more whales washing ashore, or any of the varied porpoises that just beach themselves when it's time to die. The rotting corpses on the beaches in the 1600s when people were like, "Oh my God, it's a giant creature. It must eat people," right?
Right.
Right?
Jules
Because that's how
Verne,
anything
what
gets
were you
big.
thinking?
That's how any of the creatures get that big in the ocean. They must eat people, right? Like that's how a
Right.
whale gets that big. And then on top of it, you also have to remember that like, the sort of like the basic putting two and two together that like, oh, this creature got really big, so it must have gotten big by eating meat, right? It has to eat meat. But then like, let's say one washed ashore, and people back then, hold on, this other phone is on. I don't know why it's on. Oh, that's right. I need to transfer files from this phone.
There was a porpoise.
There was a porpoise.
First there was no porpoise, then there was a porpoise. Then there was. Anyway.
There was a porpoise. His name was Rodrigo.
That's a good porpoise name. All right.
But and then you have to think that like when they hunted a whale, they would tear it apart and then they would find red meat inside there. Once it got past the blubber, And so if you find red meat inside this thing that you think must eat people,
that's what it ate.
it's got to be eating stuff. You find some red meat in there, obviously. These insides are a lot like the bear insides that we find, right?
Right.
Which reminds me, Jeff Bezos doesn't sponsor this show, but we are an Amazon affiliate. So if you want to give us commissions, go through this Amazon link I just posted in the chat, and and you go buy some Amazon stuff. We'll get the commissions off of the sales. Whatever you go buy, just go through that. Don't click on any other websites. Go through there. Go back to the beginning of your Amazon. Go order the crap you were going to order, and then we'll get fucking commissions. I won't make fun of it unless you buy dildos, and then I won't make fun of it. I'll just laugh with you about the dildos. Not at you. With. It's different.
With. Always with. Yes.
It's a different vibe altogether. Which reminds me, the only place I can get these shoes are on Amazon, and I'm kind of pissed that they're $140. That's
ouch.
Miserable. But they last a long time. So, it goes back to the was it Terry Pratchett did the boots?
Oh, right. Yes, the boots of striding or whatever it was. Terry Pratchett, that's fun.
The boots theory. Oh, you guys can look at this. Here we go, the boots theory.
What is it we are looking at? Oh, hey, the sun came out after all. Woohoo!
In the Discworld series of novels, Terry Pratchett, Sam Vimes, can't read today. In the Discworld series of novels by Terry Pratchett, Sam Vimes is the captain of the City Watch of the fictional city-state of Ankh-Morpork. I don't know how to say that. Ankh-Morpork? I don't know how to say it. That's it's spelled. Ankh-Morpork. It's got hippos on the city arms. Ankh-Morpork. I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
All right.
The name Ankh-Morpork refers to both the city itself, a walled city about 5 miles across, and the surrounding suburbs and farms of its fiefdom. The city itself lies on the river Ankh, the most populated waterway in or on the Discworld, which divides it into the more affluent Ankh and the poorer Morpork, including the slum-like shades. Lying approximately equidistant from the cold mountains of Hub and Tropical Rim, Ankh-Morpork, I don't know, is the Discworld's equivalent of the Temperate Zone. Well, there you go.
Ankh-Morpork sounds like you're asking somebody to do something weird to you.
Ankh-Morpork.
Hey, baby, Ankh-Morpork. What?
Here it is, right here. The reason that the rich were so rich, Vimes reasoned, was because they managed to spend less money. Take boots, for
Shocking.
example. A really good pair of leather boots costs $50, but an affordable pair of boots, which were sort of okay for a season or two and then leaked like hell when the cardboard gave out, cost about $10. But the thing was that good boots lasted for years and years and years. A man who could afford $50 had a pair of boots that'd still be keeping his feet dry in 10 years' time, while a poor man who could only afford cheap boots would have spent $100 on boots in the same time and would still have wet feet. This was the Captain
Buying
Samuel
cardboard
Vimes boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness.
Yep.
I don't know
Which is
that I
why
like follow
every
that
time
theory, but I follow the theory as far as
boots go.
certain purchases go, especially like footwear specifically. Is that like, oh, if these are going to last a really long time, it's the same thing with the work pants I buy. The work pants I buy are not the most expensive. They're definitely not the cheapest. I wonder if they're on Amazon.
First off, if the boots you're buying are made out of cardboard, that should be a red flag.
Oh, I don't think they are on
Even
Amazon.
in a fantasy world.
They're not on Amazon.
Ah, how dare they? Something that Amazon doesn't carry? Surely you're mistaken.
Nope, they're not on there at all.
I believe you.
There's plenty of men's work pants types on here. From Dickies to Carhartts to T1s, the TrueWorks. A lot of people like these TrueWork pants, but their pockets suck. The fact that they have a zipper pocket is like not helpful at all for like a job site. They have a cell phone pocket, which is not helpful for a job site at all. The material's pretty good. But yeah, I did not like the TrueWorks at all. The pants that I buy are these ones right here. They're I think I showed you a pair of these when I was up at your place, Witchy Cat.
Possibly. You were telling me about how you did not want my cat to ruin your pants, understandably.
It's the one downside that like cat claws or whatever.
Yep.
You know, they'll grab the little threads and shit.
Yep.
Like these are the work pants I buy right here. And it's an American company, but they're not made in America. They're apparently made in Vietnam. Went and looked it up. Although most every work pants is not going to be made in the U.S. So there's the two kinds right here, knee pad or no knee pad. Oh, these are the knee pad. These are all knee pad ones. Where's the regular ones? Actually, yeah, these are the ones. Yeah, they're like $59. So they're not like the cheapest pants in the world, but they're definitely not the most expensive either. But they have all of they have the pockets on the sides that I like. They have a belt loop. It needs to have a belt loop. Also has a tape measure loop right here. See, watch this guy's butt right here, off to the side right here. It's got the tape measure thing and the pocket. They have a pocket. I don't know if they even show it on here. Where's the pocket? I guess they don't show it. Don't even show off their extra pocket.
They have a pocket for their pocket?
Yeah, so right here, if you look at this guy's butt, there's a pocket on the butt. But if you look right up here, this line right up here that's where your wallet goes. Not in this pocket. It has its own wallet pocket up here. So you don't sit on your wallet. It actually sits up higher, so you're not sitting on it. Because if you have a wallet right here in your butt area where your gluteus is, then you sit on your wallet all the time. Whereas in these pants, the wallet's right up here. So you're not sitting on it. And then your wallet
gets all curved and yeesh.
It gets curved anyhow because it's just human form, but yeah. Best pants around because they're stretchy but they just really don't get holes. Like I said, they're not good with cat claws. That's the one thing. Something like that, like sticker bushes, they're not good with sticker bushes because they get these it'll pull the little thread loops. But everything else just seems to not be affected by them, and I cannot wear holes in the knees in these. If I wear Carhartts for like a week and a half, it'll have knees in the holes. You know what I'm talking about? Holes in the knees. They'll have holes in the knees in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. They'll just
and the water.
It's because I'm down on my knees doing down on my knees work. You know what I mean? All the time.
Yep.
I'm joking about sucking dick. If you get my joke there.
Working the docks.
Yeah, working the docks. $20 is $20.
Hey, man.
Speaking of boots, I found some more free riders at Ross over the weekend. Fucking Ross sometimes is awesome. I found Vicky and Olivia dragged me to Ross one day, and I found alpaca wool socks for $4. It's like three of them for $4. So I bought the 3 that they had there. They didn't have any more, otherwise I bought all of them. In theory, that works, but what used to be quality seems to not be anymore. My last 2 pairs of shoes, same brand. I bought a pair 15 years ago, still good. Bought a pair I got less than 5 years, got holes in them, and I paid about $300 for them both. Here's what you need to check. You need to check if that company was sold to a conglomerate. Because one of the old rock climbing approach boots that I used to wear all the time, I wore them all the time. They were my favorites. They're called, what were they? They were the 510. Hold on, let me see if I can find them. Well, there's always the question on like whether or not the image will actually be clear of any kind. It's like fucking eight. It's like 8-bit. It's like they only hosted 8-bit.
Right. We could give you a quality picture, or
so these shoes.
Blur.
These shoes right here, and these aren't even correct. These used to be made with leather upper, but now it's canvas apparently. Anyhow, these are 510. These are air quote classic style. Okay. Apparently they've remade this shoe. Of course, it's not in stock, which is hilarious. Apparently they've remade it in the classic varietal because this was the shoe I rocked, and these would last. Okay. If you give me a pair of jump boots, I'll have holes in them in no time. If you give me a pair of Red Wings, I'll have holes in them. If you give me a pair of, I don't know, the Brunts, you give me those, those Brunts, the goddamn sole fall off of them. If you give me those kinds of boots, if you give me any of that shit, there'll be holes in them. They'll be fucked up, and I'll have to throw them away. Or take them to a cobbler and get them resold, which I used to have to do that all the time. And I'm not doing. I didn't do that anymore because I switched to these, the classic version of these, the 510 approach shoe, right? And these things would fucking last a long ass time. Now, the reason I would bring this up into this conversation was this company, 510, was sold to Adidas. Adidas now makes these shoes, and when I bought a pair of these, guess what they did? After
Fell apart.
After about 2 to 3 months of wearing them, they fell apart, had fucking holes in them, and I was super fucking pissed. And so I went to go look up, why did these shoes fucking fall apart? Come to find out, big conglomerate bought the company, and they took over making the shoe. They made the shoe far inferior as to what it was before, and then they released a different approach shoe, which was just bad. It was just bad. So I didn't like those either.
Damn it.
So it makes me wonder if the new canvas, if they've released it again.
Did they
Oh,
fix
actually, if
their
you go
errors?
here, yeah, if you look at here's a picture of the old one. Oh, let's just turn it back on. Boop. The old one, if you see here, this isn't canvas. This is actually was this leather upper, which I think was kangaroo. Believe it or not.
They made them
Oh.
bouncier.
No wonder. Published April 13th, 2016.
Way before the tariffs.
Yeah, this is the funny thing. The little write-up here about the shoe. The dot pattern on the sole was the first of its kind, and it proved to offer the highest friction and the most purchase on slick, slabby rock. While the flat zone up near the toe provided a climbing area for edging, a snug fit and rubber up over the toes means you can climb moderate routes, jam cracks, and do technical scrambling with ease, and thick but breathable upper pockets. Or thick but breathable upper protects your feet without succumbing to abuse. I don't know. I can't fucking read today. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's the allergies. Yeah. Allergies are fucking killing me. I'm dying.
Your brains are leaking out your nose. All right.
Yeah, my brains are out. They're gone.
You'll be soon to be mummified.
Yeah, I'll be dying soon. Just so you know.
Right.
But yeah, these were the ultimate classic fucking shoes, and they lasted a long time until they sold the company to Adidas, and then they started producing these other ones.
What are we looking at? What is that video with the holes in
What?
the ground?
What are you talking about?
There's a video playing. Oh, you turned it off now. I'm a little behind, of course, on the video. So there was a video playing.
Oh, yeah. When the warehouse switched over to Adidas, they let the locals take everything from the warehouse. So I have a few rolls of their patented rubber. Perfect for rimless tank bases and toolbox drawers.
Well
That's
played.
kind of funny.
The demise of the Library of Congress.
What happened?
Oh, I was just looking at the description for today's Yakathon.
Yeah, the Trump administration
demise.
let go the head librarian at the Library of Congress. Did you read about that?
I did.
Because apparently
then-
they were saying that because the librarian running the Library of Congress was going to put books in it that was going to be
The kids couldn't read.
inappropriate for children. And the Library of Congress does not have customers that are children because these people don't understand. They don't understand anything that they're fucking talking about, right? Because all it is, like, you know when a dog runs in to your house and it pees all over stuff?
Yes.
Because it doesn't recognize that, like, this is a credenza, or this is an ottoman, or this is a couch. There's no value to any of these items to a dog, so they just piss on them, right? And it's the same thing with the Trump administration. They don't recognize what any of these things are because they don't know what they are, and they just decide to piss all over them, because their fundamental understanding is probably that of maybe an 8-year-old child, and that all it's going to do is, air quote, make people upset at them, right? Like, people are mad at us, and so obviously we're doing a good job.
Right. We're getting we're owning the libs, man.
Right. You know, and fundamentally, like, exactly what is happening right now is they're just funneling money to Donald Trump. They're funneling money to Trump's family. They're funneling money to essentially through the stock market, right? Through these stock market fuckery that they're doing and the insider trading that they're doing, is blatant, because of the investment firms that are associated with them and the ability that they've had to, strangely buy during the dip. Post on your own social media that the president owns. You should buy this now. Oh, you should sell now. Day. Right.
Yes. God, I hope they nab her. I hope she loses fucking everything.
Oh my God, he gave up on the fucking tariffs again.
Yeah, 30% now for China. China's laughing hysterically.
U.S. stocks surged with the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite entering a new bull market after the U.S. and China agreed to slash punishingly high tariffs on each other's goods. The decision by the world's two largest economies represents a major thaw in trade relations that resets the tone between the countries from outright conflict to constructive engagement. Oh, really? Oh, now it's suddenly constructive engagement? President Trump's reciprocal tariff on China will fall to 10% from 125%. A separate 20% tariff that the president imposed over what he described as China's role in the fentanyl trade will remain. So 30%, like you said. Beijing will cut its retaliatory levies on U.S. goods to 10% from 125%. The U.S. said reductions will last 90 days while talks continue.
Yep.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said meetings over a fuller deal would likely start in the next few weeks, but it would be implausible for reciprocal tariffs on China to fall below 10%. President Trump said the talks achieved a total reset with China, calling it a very good deal, and added that he might speak to Chinese leader Xi Jinping at the end of the week. He hasn't even talked to he hasn't even talked to Xi Jinping yet.
Nope.
Oh my God.
He refuses to come to the table to speak with him, to Trump.
The agreement lowered tariff levels far more than Wall Street expected, with one analyst, Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities, calling the deal a best-case scenario for investors. Goldman Sachs cut its U.S. recession odds from 35% to 35% from 45%. So still recession odds quite high at 35%.
Yeah.
U.S. stocks rallied with the NASDAQ composite climbing 4.3%, which reminds me I should check my crypto. Did it go way up today?
Oh, I think my little tiny amount of Bitcoin was down last I looked. Let's see. That was only about 2 hours ago, though.
Let's check it. Let's see what's going on here. This is checking in on our hilariously small crypto investments.
Bitcoin, 0.87% down at this moment.
Mine's up 2.6%.
You must not be in Bitcoin. You must be in something else.
I must be.
Good boy. Bitcoin is all that Cash App offers me, and I just stick my loose change in it.
Yeah, I don't. I have. What do I have in here?
I have $6.
I don't know. I have $600 in here.
Ooh, yeah. I only have 1% of that.
I put 1,000 in there, like, I don't know, 4 years ago or something.
Right.
I don't know. It was, whenever COVID was happening, I was like, oh, let me put some money in there. So I did.
Right.
And then it went up. And then it went way down. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to leave it. Because
right.
I'm not going to just
I
take a
spend-
loss. What's the point, right? So I just left it in
I-
there because it was either going to go to zero and disappear or do something else.
Right. I spend mine fairly frequently because I get a couple of my subscriptions for like the web stuff that I do. I can pay in Bitcoin and I get a 30% discount straight off the top if I use Bitcoin. So I burned. That's the only reason I even bother keeping it anymore.
Right.
So, and since I'm just using literally, it's like like I said, my spare change jar. If I buy something and it's, $7.48, the difference goes into Bitcoin. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm not investing in it. And it's just, I don't have the money to invest in anything.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I get it. Like I said, I put some money in there during COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just see what happens. Because it was
Yeah.
roller coastering like crazy at the time. And
Right.
when I bought some of it, it was like, oh yeah, it's probably gonna go up and like double or whatever. And it did. It went up, never doubled. So I was like, oh, I'll just hold, right? And then
Right.
something happened. I forget what happened. Something happened and it like fucking tanked. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just leave that in there until eventually. And then early this year it went back up, so I sold some of it. So I think I bought 1,000.
Right.
And then this year it went up, so I sold some of it. I get to play video games, honestly, if anybody wants to know. It was to play video games
That's
with.
exactly the way to do it.
Yeah, so I sold some of it, and then it went down again, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just go back to not giving a fuck about it, just leave it there. And then
Joel
we'll
G,
see what happens.
do you really have a Trump coin, Joel G?
My Trump coin is
Really?
up 700%. I mean, I don't know. He might have bought one. I don't know. I mean, realistically, technically it would be a good investment if you could get out of it, but I don't think you can sell it yet, right?
Right. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But back to your original thing.
I don't know
Do
if
we
you can
think
sell
that
it.
MTG is going to get, do we think that they're actually going to slap her?
They're gonna what? What are you talking about?
Slap MTG for her little insider trading? Oh, Joel G says no, he doesn't have one. And Mike Johnson now considering putting prohibition on Congress doing anything in the stock market. They're gonna fight that tooth and nail, both sides.
I don't think I'd heard about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene's hearing disrupted by insider trading scrutiny. Maybe it's a coincidence, says Jasmine Crockett on MTG buying stocks before Trump's 90-day tariff pause.
I don't think anything in that sentence wasn't said with sarcasm, or without sarcasm, rather.
What?
Oh, Crockett. I said I'm sure that she was being purely sarcastic with the maybe it's just a coincidence.
Oh. Marjorie Taylor Greene's congressional hearing was suspended for 20 minutes on Wednesday. This is last week. After Democrats accused her of insider trading related to stock purchases made before President Donald Trump announced a pause on tariffs. The DOJ subcommittee, which Green chairs, was holding a hearing on transgender athletes in sports when Representative Greg Casar, Democrat of Texas, and Representative Jasmine Crockett out of Texas derailed proceedings with allegations about Green's recent stock activities, reported Business Insider. We're here because Chairwoman Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks that if she picks on vulnerable people like trans folks, she can avoid having a discussion about the allegations of insider trading against her. Crockett displayed a poster featuring Green's face stating maybe it's a coincidence that the chairwoman bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock the day before Trump announced a 90-day pause on tariffs, but I guess we'll never know. Yeah, I mean, like, you guys know I've long been standing that people in Congress should not be allowed to make investments. And if they are making investments, they should be investments into blind index funds. Like if these people want to invest in the stock market, then invest in an index fund that follows the Dow Jones, an index fund that follows the NASDAQ, an index fund that follows whatever market. Okay, I get it. Like, there's a lot of different markets, and I can't sit here and name them all because I don't know them all. Okay, is it the NASDAQ? Is it this? Is it that? Whatever the fuck. There's a million of them. But I will say that, like, I've long since been an advocate that these people should not be able to buy Tesla stock. They shouldn't be able to buy GE stock. They shouldn't be able to buy NVIDIA stock before they fuck around. And for the longest time, people have been talking about how Pelosi is such a piece of shit that she makes all this money off of her stocks. The first argument that I have there is show me all of the Republicans that don't do the exact same thing. Okay?
Good luck with that.
Which ones don't? Okay? Because I'm sure that the list of the ones that don't is much shorter than the list of the ones that do. Because I would guarantee you that list is maybe one person, right? And for the longest time, I think that the people that are working in Congress, whether it be a Senate, representative, or even in the state houses, right? These people should be able to invest in a retirement fund if they want. They should be able to invest in the market if they want, as long as it's into like an index fund where they're not making fucking daily trades on shit that companies that are benefiting off of the shit that they're voting on, right? They shouldn't be able to vote on a trade deal that will inflate NVIDIA's stock by 9,000%.
Right.
And know that a week ahead of time that they're going to vote for it and buy a shitload of that stock. Shouldn't be able to do that. They also shouldn't be able. They also shouldn't be able to be involved in building sales, like decommissioned post offices, right? That get sold to private. They shouldn't be able to be involved in that. They shouldn't be able to be involved in any of our overstock sell-off, whether it be munitions or medicines or supplies or oil or any of that shit. They shouldn't be allowed to be able to do any of that stuff, but they currently do. So please, Lord, showeth me the fucking Republican that doesn't do any of this stuff, right?
Right.
Because it's really easy for me to point to Democrats that don't do this shit, right? There's one glaring example, and his name is Bernie fucking Sanders, right?
Exactly.
And people go, he's an independent, and you go like, he was involved in directly involved in the last Democratic administration. So let's
presidential,
shut the fuck up, right? Like, let's shut the fuck up that he's not on the side of the Democrats. Is he a communist? Maybe. He's obviously not a capitalist. Will gladly admit that. Okay.
Yep.
I personally am not a Bernie Sanders supporter because I do not believe that socialism or capitalism are an example of how we could have a successful society. I fundamentally don't believe it. I fundamentally don't believe those things because communism and socialism will lead to two outcomes that are an individual in power. And by the way, unfettered capitalism like we have right now with basically zero regulations overseeing our system leads to the exact same outcome. It's the exact same outcome for capitalism without regulation is the exact same outcome as communism or socialism. It leads to one person having extraordinary power and all of the wealth, okay? You end up with the Carnegies, you end up with the Rockefellers, you end up with all that shit. Because all three of these systems, without heavy regulation and heavy inputs, will lead to eventually having a God King, okay? Yep. And that's the last thing that we want, because what we do want is democracy, right? We want a democratic representation.
That's what we keep telling ourselves.
Hold on a second.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I was texting Vicky back before she hired somebody to do a job that was a lot of money for something that we don't need them to do.
Good save.
Well, I don't know. I mean, somebody was going to charge us a bunch of money to do something that we don't need done. But either way. I don't know. Did we lose the stream? We might have lost the stream. It's not loading on my end.
No, it looks like everybody's still here.
Okay. Yeah, but the biggest concern is that the biggest concern that I have is that we need to be leaning into more democracy, more democratic representation, and more regulation over this stuff, because it's fundamentally broken in my mind that we have so few representatives, right? We have so few senators. We have so few presidents. We have so few Supreme Court judges. 9.
9.
I'm telling you,
Just
if you
the
multiplied the Supreme Court judges by 100 and there was 900 of them, I would still probably think, I don't know, that might not be enough for 350 million people, okay?
Suddenly have this image of the Supreme Court working like conclave all of a sudden. Okay.
Maybe they need the smoke. Maybe they need it. Maybe they need the chimney smoke.
That's right. Well, they need smoke or something. Anyway, go ahead.
You know, it's fundamentally insane that we have 100 senators, right? There's only 100 of them.
Right, for 350 million people. Yeah.
You know, and I know that people go, the big government bad. Like, fuck you, big government bad. What country has big government? What country has a lot of people working in the government? Show me it.
Yeah.
Show me the country that the government is too big. Like, there are too many services there. Right? I've watched Designated Survivor. Yes, I've watched it. I thought it was all right. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely like an interesting story, right? Like the whole concept and everything. So, I have you seen that, Witchy Cat?
No, I have not.
You should watch it. I forget who the guy. Kiefer Sutherland's the guy, right?
Okay.
I can't remember who he plays. Let me look up the characters.
Had an interesting moment today in one of my groups where we realized that Musk desperately wants to be some weird combination of Dee Dee Harriman and Lazarus Long from the Heinlein books, but can't quite get his shit together to pull off either one.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Musk with his whole I want to go to space. He wants to be the private investor that takes us into space, like Dee Dee Harriman from the Heinlein books. That's why he named Grok, because it's this whole universe.
Yeah,
and then Lazarus Long.
But isn't Grok the isn't Grok fuck, I can't remember. It's so long since I read those books, but like
Love. It's from Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yeah, but isn't Grok like 100% like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, generous and empathetic or whatever?
Right. Like I said, he can't get his shit together to do it. He's the antithesis of somebody who should even try because he doesn't believe in empathy. I think that's why he wants to outsource it, because he's not able to. So he wants to create something that can for him.
No, that's what it is. Yeah. In Heinlein's novel, grok is a Martian term that means not just to understand others, but to empathize so deeply with others that you merge or blend with them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like you don't understand them, but you're so empathetic that you become a part of them, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I
Right.
mean, I was listening to, who was I listening to a while ago? I don't know, some AI guy. And he was talking about like how fundamentally wrong it was for Elon Musk to name his AI Grok, because like
Rock.
because eventually Grok is going to figure out like what it's named after, and it's going
Right.
to mold the AI into the exact opposite of what Elon Musk wants it to be,
Right.
which is just fundamentally like a perfect example of like how ridiculous Elon Musk is and how much he sucks as a person. Like
Right.
he can't even make the thing that he wants to make, right?
That was
Anyhow,
the point
the
of our
designated
service.
survivor. Okay, shut up. You gotta listen.
Yes. Sir.
Okay, designated survivor. It stars Kiefer. You know Kiefer.
I do know Kiefer.
Kiefer Sutherland. And
You
it's
keep
old Kiefer. It's old Kiefer Sutherland, and he does not play the what was the 24 hours show where he's like a ninja.
24.
Yeah, he's like a ninja assassin, and he saves the world in somehow 24
Right.
hours or whatever. And he like
somehow
heals from gunshot wounds in a half an
right.
hour.
Exactly. He gets the shit beaten out of him more than any human alive, and
Yeah.
yet still manages to save
Yeah.
the world. Yes.
It's like it's been 48 minutes in our story, but it's been 2 weeks since an episode came out, so he's healed now. You're like,
right.
the fuck? Yeah, try binge watching that show, and it will. You're like, oh, this is fucking stupid. This is what stupid people like. Anyhow,
Yep.
designated survivor, old Kiefer Sutherland, and he doesn't play the 24 version of himself. He actually plays a character called Tom Kirkman. Tom Kirkman, I thought he was like a lower representative, but it turns out he's a member of the cabinet. I'm like remembering this wrong. So he's the Housing and Urban Development Center. So he's what's his name? The guy the brain surgeon that falls asleep.
Oh. Yeah. I know who you mean. I can't think
Yeah.
of his name either.
That guy. he's that guy. He's the head of the HUD, right? And he was so our government, whether they do this or not still, I don't know, but our government has a designated survivor. So it's somebody from the cabinet will be away from where they're all meeting, right? So essentially they take the nuclear football and all that shit and they put it elsewhere. And then they put the designated survivor somewhere else. And then they have like the presidential address, right? Where they're all going to be in one building.
Right.
So in this
State of the
show,
Union or whatever.
yeah. So in this show, that's happening, and a nuke gets set off where the State of the Union's happening or whatever.
Right.
So they all get blown up. They're all of them. Everybody that was there gets blown up, right?
Okay.
So the president, vice president, the Speaker of the House, all
they're
them,
all unalive.
they all get blown up.
Okay.
They get blown up big times. There's no recovery. So he becomes the president, and he is 100% what you would expect from like a lower official, right? Like he's not stupid, but he just is not even remotely ready for it at all.
Right. Right.
And it goes through like the backlash of like sort of how the Americans would see this guy now. Like he's the president now. Like what the fuck? We didn't vote for this guy,
You're not even right.
Yeah. And so it's, and it goes through that. And, I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know that I would say that I watched all of the episodes. I definitely watched the first season.
So it's a series, not a. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Alright.
series. I think it was. I don't know if it was NBC or ABC. Oh no, so here it says it's ABC. So, but it was sort of like one of the late night ABC type shows. Like it wasn't playing at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. It was playing at like 10
Right. It
o'clock.
was that
So
10 o'clock slot right before
yeah,
the news when everybody's tuned out already.
where it's
Okay.
like, you remember when Michael Chiklis was in,
The Wire.
was it The Wire or The Shield?
Shield. Sorry.
The
Yes. I'm
Shield.
sorry.
Yeah, there was The
get them. I
Shield,
love
and
them
they got
both.
his naked ass was on like was on TV. Remember that?
Right.
Like he was
Right.
naked.
And
He
then.
had he had a nude scene on like NBC or whatever. But they were
Oh,
like,
no, that was. You're thinking NYPD Blue with the redhead, Dennis Franz.
oh, was it that guy? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
some other guy.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. There was like a nude
Yeah. It was.
scene with a dude
Yeah.
on like NBC or ABC or whatever. But they were like, it's
Yeah.
after the 10 o'clock time slot. So
Right.
technically
So
we can,
naked butt is accepted.
yeah, they were like, technically we can kind of do whatever we want. And that's when they started dropping like shit. They never said a fuck. They never said a fuck. That was too far.
I
But
think bitch was the
yeah,
strongest it
bitch or
got. Maybe.
shit and whatever, yeah. And you're just like, I don't. This is weird. Like, go all the way or don't. They're like in this weird middle ground of trying to
Right.
be creative because like you're making shows about like cops and robbers, right?
Right.
And the robbers would be like, "Give me all your money, guy." Like,
Right.
like
Look,
how do you write
dude.
this? Like, how do you write this? Like, how do you write this shit?
Right.
Where it's like, what the fuck, man? Like,
You're not much of a heavy.
hey,
You,
man,
the
thugs
Lieutenant and the
don't,
Crips
thug,
have come to for my wallet.
yeah, thugs don't say that. Like, they don't say, bro, dude, bro.
Bro,
They don't, yeah,
you bro.
they're not dude broing people
Honky.
when
They
they're
might
robbing
honky
them.
or cracker you
Oh,
now
yeah.
and again. But
Hey, you honky, give me that money. Like, what? This is not good. Like, we don't
I don't
We
need
don't
to
like
listen to
this.
your jive.
Yeah,
Is
you
this
jive.
1970?
That's
What
right.
the fuck?
You jive turkey. Like, what? Are you about to scat on out of here? Okay. Skibidi bop bop bada bop.
Ah,
It's after
That's
4
funny.
o'clock. We gotta go. I gotta go. I mean, you guys can
Alright,
stay.
fine.
Stay all you want. Big thanks to Witchy Cat for a $5 super chat. Did you say anything
Okay.
weird on it?
I did. I said dog butt repair.
Dog Butt Repair Fund. There you go. All right, thank you. We appreciate it. It's the other dog, not the brown one I showed you today.
Now, that one
It's
did
the
not have a
black one.
cone of shame on it.
The black one. The black one. It's got a butt wound. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Like I said, I've said this a million times before. If you guys want me to make more YouTube stuff, it really does come down to being able to turn this into my job. I really desperately want to make YouTube stuff. I really do, but I just don't have time for it. Like this weekend, I couldn't have edited anything because I don't have a laptop situation. I mean, maybe I could have in the car. I guess I could have like edited a video or something, but I don't have a laptop situation, and it takes 7 hours to drive to fucking Oregon. So
I was thinking that too, Alyssa, with the Secretary of Education becoming the president. She's a teacher. Anyway.
what's that?
Oh, Alyssa brought up what I was thinking about, but we cut off Mary McConnell's role as the president in Battlestar Galactica in the remake, where she's the Secretary of Education and she's the last member of the cabinet to survive.
Oh,
So she
right.
becomes the president, and the government or the military are all pissed. She's not the president, she's a teacher.
Well, that's how this works. All right, be quiet now.
Yeah. All right, fine.